It happened without a sound. One moment, our brilliant silvery moon was hanging in the sky, a familiar friend to all of humanity. The next, it was simply gone. Imagine waking up, expecting to see the waning crescent before sunrise. But there's nothing. Just an unnerving, star-dusted blackness. The world's first reaction? Disbelief. Astronomers scramble, news channels erupt, and people pour into the streets, searching the empty sky. The absence is more than visual. It's a deep psychological blow. For all of human history, the moon has been a constant, guiding sailors, inspiring poets, marking time for farmers. Its disappearance would feel like a fundamental law of the universe had been broken. The world would hold its breath, waiting for an explanation that would never come. But this isn't just about losing our nightlight. The moon is a critical part of the Earth system, a gravitational partner in a cosmic dance that's lasted over 4 billion years. Its sudden departure would trigger a cascade of catastrophic events, starting almost immediately. The initial panic would soon be overshadowed by very real, very physical changes to our planet. The rules of nature would be rewritten overnight. Every human who has ever lived has looked up and seen that same moon. Its loss severs our connection to our past and our planet's history. Before the tides falter, before the planet wobbles, the first casualty is our sense of security. We would suddenly feel incredibly small and vulnerable in a cosmos that just proved itself far more unpredictable than we imagined. The Great Disappearance was not just an astronomical event, it was the beginning of the end of the world as we know it. And the silent, empty sky would be a terrifying omen of the turmoil to come. The first dramatic sign of the moon's absence would be seen in our oceans. The moon drives Earth's tides. Without it, the powerful gravitational tug vanishes instantly. The massive, twice-daily tides we know would shrink to feeble solar tides, less than half as strong. Coastal areas would see sea levels shift by only a foot or two. Intertidal zones would be devastated, leaving graveyards for trillions of marine organisms. The mixing of ocean water would slow, leading to stagnation and altering ocean currents, which would change global weather patterns. The chemistry of the oceans would shift, with catastrophic results for marine life. Fishermen would find the water no longer moves as it always has. Harbours might become permanently inaccessible. The great tidal bores would vanish. The sound of the ocean would change, surf replaced by a quieter, eerie lapping. The silent, still ocean would be a constant reminder of the celestial partner we lost. The tides, once a heartbeat of the planet, would become a faint echo. The moon is more than a tidal force, it's Earth's stabilizer. Our planet's tilt, which gives us seasons, is kept steady by the moon's gravity. Without it, Earth's axial tilt would begin to drift chaotically, swinging from no seasons to extreme ones over thousands of years. The gravitational nudges from other planets, once dampened by the moon, would now send Earth into unpredictable wobbles. Climate zones would be thrown into chaos, ice caps melting, deserts freezing, jungles forming in polar regions. The length of our day would stop changing, but the loss of the moon's braking effect would alter our planet's rotational future. Agriculture would become impossible as seasons and climates shift unpredictably. Cities could be submerged or buried under ice. The world would enter a state of perpetual climate chaos. The moon, our silent guardian, has protected us for billions of years. Only in its absence would we realize how much we depended on its steadying presence. The very infrastructure of civilization would be rendered obsolete. The loss of stability would make long-term survival on Earth nearly impossible. The sudden, perpetual moonless darkness would devastate the animal kingdom. Nocturnal predators and prey, whose lives are tuned to the moon's cycles, would be thrown into confusion. Predators like lions and owls would struggle to hunt. Prey populations might boom, but only briefly. Marine animals like corals time reproduction to the lunar cycle. Without it, mass spawning events would cease, collapsing entire ecosystems. Insects, amphibians, and mammals that use the moon for navigation or timing would lose their cues. Migratory birds would lose a key celestial landmark, disrupting entire routes. The intricate web of life, woven with threads of moonlight, would unravel. The world would become a more disorienting, dangerous place for animals. Ancient behaviors would change or vanish. The dance of predator and prey, of mating and migration, all choreographed by moonlight, would grind to a halt. The animal kingdom would be left in confusion and struggle. Even in our artificially lit cities, humans aren't immune to the moon's influence. Our biology contains echoes of ancient lunar rhythms. Some studies suggest our sleep patterns subtly shift with the lunar cycle. Without the moon, this rhythm would vanish, potentially disrupting our internal clocks and affecting mood, hormones, and well-being. The loss would strip away another anchor to the natural world, leaving us more adrift in artificial environments. The moon is woven into our culture and timekeeping. The word month comes from moon, and many festivals are based on its cycle. Its disappearance would throw traditions into chaos, severing a link to our cultural and religious heritage. The psychological impact would be immense. The moon is a symbol of romance, mystery, and inspiration. Its absence would leave a hole in our collective imagination. Even language and art would lose a universal reference point. To lose the moon would be to lose a piece of our own humanity. The moon's disappearance would force us to separate science from myth. Myths like the full moon causing madness or affecting plant growth have no scientific basis. The moon's gravitational pull is too weak to influence human behavior or plant growth in any meaningful way. But the real science is even more wondrous. The moon stabilizes Earth's tilt, drives our tides, and is a piece of our planet's own history. It was born from a colossal collision, making it our cosmic child. In losing the moon, we'd lose our planet's stabilizer, the engine of our tides, and a metronome for countless biological rhythms. The science is more profound than the myths. The moon wasn't mystical. It was fundamental to making Earth habitable. The long-term climate changes would be even more profound. Without the moon's steadying hand, Earth's tilt could swing to extremes. Imagine an Earth tilted at 90 degrees, with poles alternately scorched and frozen. The temperate zones would vanish, replaced by regions periodically frozen or baked. Forests, grasslands, and agricultural belts would perish, unable to cope with unpredictable climates. Ocean circulation would collapse, making the equator hotter and the poles colder. The oceans would absorb less carbon dioxide, risking a runaway greenhouse effect. Over millions of years, Earth might resemble early Mars, a planet of climatic chaos. Life might survive deep underground or in the ocean depths, but surface life and civilization would be doomed. The long dark night without a moon would be a prelude to a long dark age for the planet. The moon's loss would mark the end of Earth as we know it. In the years after the moon's disappearance, humanity and animals would struggle to survive. Coastal economies would collapse, forcing mass migrations inland and sparking social and political instability. Nations would fight over dwindling resources as weather patterns shift and agriculture falters. Humanity would turn to technology, building seawalls, developing climate-controlled farms, and retreating indoors. Our connection to nature would become one of management, not harmony. For animals, adaptation would be brutal. Nocturnal species would face extinction or evolve new senses, perhaps even bioluminescence. The oceans would see mass extinctions, with only the hardiest species surviving. But the slow, chaotic wobble of Earth's axis would be the ultimate deadline. No amount of ingenuity could save surface life from the catastrophic climate swings to come. Our existence is tied to a delicate cosmic balance, one we'd only appreciate once it's gone. The moon's disappearance would be the most profound event since the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Its legacy would be loss, chaos, and a fundamental reordering of our world. The empty night sky would be a constant reminder of the stability and beauty we lost. Over time, the story of the Great Disappearance would become a new global myth. The loss would be written into the very rock of the planet. Before and after, a world of life and a world of extinction. We'd be forced to re-evaluate our place in the universe, realizing habitability is a fragile gift. The Earth and Moon are inextricably linked. One cannot thrive without the other. The search for exoplanets would become a search for a lifeboat. Ultimately, the legacy would be silence. The silence of tides, of nocturnal animals, of poets and songwriters. And eventually, the silence of a planet where complex life could no longer survive. The moon's disappearance is a cautionary tale. The things we take for granted are precious and fragile. Only when we look up and find it gone forever would we truly understand what the moon was worth.